Oh my gosh.
uh,
All right, in the world of
oh
pop
man.
culture, Fish, what you got for us today, buddy?
Yes. Pop
Thanks a lot, Skinner. Good
culture.
stuff.
Yes. Yeah, good stuff, man. It's unfortunate timing, though, Skinner. Seriously, I mean, it's
Yeah.
at least it's not like non-refundable and everything else. So we'll plan accordingly. But all right, pop culture. So in the world of something we all enjoy, certainly is superhero everything. You know, we're all comics
Yes.
fans. We're all movies fans. We've seen all of us. I think have seen all the Marvel movies and
Yes.
for
Multiple
years
times.
and years and years, and we've enjoyed that together many times as well over the years. So Disney Plus, now they started with WandaVision as the first streaming superhero series, and actually that
Mhm.
was not meant to be the first one they put out there because of the virus and everything else. They were able to finish the production on that one first, but we all agree that was pretty. Skinner, by the way, have you seen that yet?
I did get to finally see it. I did watch it.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
Now, what did you think?
I liked it.
Okay.
Like I said, I had a hard time that first episode, first half, and
First two of them, actually. You were kind
I'm
of,
like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm watching Leave It to Beaver, but there's,
yeah.
but I'm watching Marvel. What is
It,
this? I
it
was
took
very
about two and a
confused.
half to start throwing you a bone for you to
Yeah.
say, okay, something else afoot here. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah, very well done, very highly produced. I mean, the special it was a long movie, is what it was
and
basically.
Right.
and
You know,
it was
so
unique. That's what I
yes,
like about the unique storyline.
yeah,
Besides the we're heroes, bad guys, let's fight. Total
yeah,
different. Yeah.
definitely a nice bridge between the last movie, and it could tell a longer story, and it's a nice lead into the Doctor Strange movie next year, the multiverse, and all that's now introduced.
Hmm.
So great stuff. So this past weekend we had two big superhero streaming events. First of all, you had the new Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. So episode one debuted, and that was supposed to be the first show actually, but they couldn't finish it. So uh, we're not going to spoil it here, but a couple interesting dynamics in the show that you pick up on pretty quickly. And one is, the Winter Soldier has to atone for prior sins, and you see something where he has to deal with that, which is a very interesting dynamic of the show. And then what we talked about off camera as well is the Falcon really humanizes a superhero.
Hmm.
I think WandaVision did that as well because she
Yes.
dealt. Here's a woman really dealing with the grief of the loss of her husband. They really
Hmm.
portrayed that well. And then here it was like, here's real life superhero issues, and it struck me as sort of like a Peter Parker type thing too, because Spider-Man always
Sure.
had troubles,
Always. Yeah.
and there's without going into the details, but the Falcon talks about, hey, we don't get paid as superheroes, and it's
Hmm.
like, whoa.
Right.
And it's like you thought, we always assumed that, if you're in the Avengers and working for the government and this and that, do they
Hmm.
kind of help them out? You don't really think about their personal lives like that. Can they make a living? And here's a guy that's a superhero trying to do right, and it's like he mentions, oh, we don't get paid, and it's like, wow, and it causes some issues and things like that. So I thought that was a very interesting dynamic of this series. So it'll be kind of neat to see where that goes with his family and the
Yes.
other stuff. So it's both those characters instantly were more human in the series, I thought. What do you guys think?
Well, I totally agree with you. I thought that was the biggest thing to me. Now, unlike Wanda, we
Hmm.
saw the emotional content of Wanda as far as her love for the Vision. When the Vision
Mhm.
told her, "Hey, if Thanos tries to take the Mind Stone, kill me." And of
Hmm.
course, the emotion when she had to was very emotional. And even in the end game, when we saw not only her emotion, but we saw the power of Wanda, she was
Yeah.
actually taking it to Thanos.
Hmm.
He had said rain fire. So we've seen her emotion. We've also seen the whole theme of the Winter Soldier has been him atoning for past sins. But we've
Hmm.
never seen anything about the Falcon outside of him being the hero. So this
Yeah.
was just an awesome take of the see the human side of this guy. He's got family members, he's got nephews. Parents just passed away while he was gone for 5 years. Money issues. It was just great. The first 10 minutes of it I thought was just unbelievable action. That was
terrific.
the first 10 minutes I thought was just great. And then
Yeah.
after that, the human stories was phenomenal. So kudos to Marvel for not just feeding us the same stuff, or regurgitating them. I mean, they're really thinking and really taking these stories to different levels. I was really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like Wanda, I'm behind you guys. I haven't seen it yet, but we got to see the life and the story of Tony Stark. We got to see the life and the family of Ant-Man and Wasp. We got to see the family life of a lot of these characters. Even Wanda, now that we've gotten to see her, and but we have not heard much about Falcon. We knew he was
probably the least.
He was the least unknown character out of everybody that we've seen over the last 13, 14 years.
I agree.
And it was like that with the comics, too. From I remember right, he was kind of the unknown. So you guys talking about him having this family interaction, I cannot wait to see it now.
Yeah.
Because I want to see where he came from. I've always been fascinated with him being able to fly in a different fashion than how Thor does it, than how, Tony Stark does it so I'm very anxious now, and I'm very happy to hear what you guys are talking about. I cannot wait. I'll be watching it tomorrow for sure.
Not only do I like the character, but I like Anthony Mackie playing him.
Yes.
So to get more of him is great. The emergence, the growth of the character in the comic books. He was Black Falcon, which I was totally annoyed about. Every black superhero had black in front of their name growing up. We get it. We can see
we did
Black
need it.
Panther, Black Vulcan. Yeah, it's not called White Superman and White. But anyway, so and then the jetpack suit. We've gotten away from the original story, but I really dig it, And of course, his little sidekick is a real bird in the comics. But it's 2020. I get it. And so whatever. But just to see more storyline on him besides following Captain America around was really, really great. I've always had this thought in my mind, guys, that, hey, Stark gave everybody a spending account. You know what I mean? That here's a credit card. Don't spend over $1 million.
Right. But, if anybody could do it, it could have been. It should have been him.
So very surprising. Very nice.
Yep, good stuff. And they picked it up nicely from Falcon getting Captain America's shield, and then you wonder, is he going to take the mantle or not?
Yes,
they definitely jump into that as well. Yeah, but
I can't wait to see it, guys.
The first 5 minutes, like he said, it's some of the best action that you'll see, and it really takes anyway. So good stuff, highly recommended. Check it out there if you haven't seen it already. And then we also had the marathon movie, Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League, 4 hours long. I could not get to it. And I will watch it. I was not a fan of the original cut. I thought it was too long. I don't know. It just to me, it just was not done well. It was too quirky and this and that. And I don't get how they can't get these characters right.
Right.
Don't understand it at all. So I see mixed reviews, some very, very good, some not so good. I mean, which I guess is expected. So without any spoilers, I didn't get to it at all yet. I know, Keith, you saw it. What are your initial thoughts?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want you to understand this before you watch it. There's a big difference, I would imagine, of Zack Snyder taking what was already done and fixing it up as opposed to him doing the whole movie. I would imagine if he had done the whole movie, it would be something very spectacular. My initial thoughts on the first movie was like, man, they just don't have the formula like Marvel. But it was entertaining for what it was worth. But there was too many things, too many questions not answered that didn't make any sense. And one of the reasons that the movie is so long, he took the time to answer a lot of those questions, things that we had to just assume we figured out how they got here, and I really appreciated that. There was some addition to some other characters. That was awesome. And there was there were some serious changes done in with the storyline in some areas. So I thought he did a tremendous job. I couldn't stop watching it. Just when you thought it was over, it kept going, and I think it blows the first one out of the water.
Okay, all right. So I know, Skinner, you haven't seen it yet, right?
Nope. When I found out, especially I found out it's 4 hours. Yeah, it's gonna take me a little bit to get to it.
One little spoiler. Just bringing Superman back with the black Superman suit was totally cool. It was more along the line of the comic book story. And you got to see how it got all to that. There was no assumption. Everything that happened, you saw why and the reason for it and where it came from.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay.
Very good
stuff. All right. I will watch. I know that my other buddy, Dean Harvey, who you mentioned, I never mentioned his name. I call him out. So Dean, I do the other podcast with, Convincing Idiots, but he's a big Superman fan, and he enjoyed it. So you enjoyed it, he enjoyed it. That's two positive endorsements in my mind. When you watch it,
will you come back and give us your take
on
it?
Okay, yeah, sure
great.
Will.
I'm interested in hearing that.
Thank you. So we had
Skinner
the Oscar. Yes, Skinner, absolutely.
Yep, I will make sure.
Sorry,
go ahead, buddy.
No, I'll make sure I watch it this week.
Okay, very good. We had Oscar nominations come out, and obviously a whole different feel to it this year with
I still didn't get nominated.
Many Nope, not yet. Maybe someday. Someday we'll get a participation trophy from the Oscars, perhaps, or maybe a lifetime achievement or something like that. Actually, we're Gen X. We don't need no participation.
Yeah, we don't need no stinking participation.
Get that crap out of here. You win or lose. That's it.
There's no second place.
That's right. So the Oscars, obviously, clearly a lot of big movies were not released in theaters last year, so it's really upended the awards this year. I don't think they're doing any big thing, certainly with the pandemic. So Mank got a lot of awards. Mank's story about the man who co-wrote Citizen Kane. Yeah, I got a lot of not awards, but nominations, I should say. The one thing I picked up on this year was that it seems that it's definitely more of a diverse nomination crowd this year, which includes a Asian American, actually the guy who played Glenn on Walking Dead. I like Tim a lot on that show, but nominated for Best Actor, and you had a female Asian American. I think she's Asian American. Forgive me, but director be nominated for Best Director. So just to kind of across the board, without getting a lot of details here, it was a more diverse nomination, which is nice to see. Hopefully that continues as we go forward with this award. Let me ask you a
question real quick, Fish.
Sure, go ahead.
Before you give them the humanitarian award, do
you
think
right.
that diversity is because of lack of content due to the pandemic?
Great question. So I'm sure that's a factor, and I guess it remains to be seen. So we'll see next year.
It'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
Yes, from the movies that come out this year. I guess maybe a few years. We'll see if any trends continue. But at the very least, it's at least it's something. Let's hope it continues for sure.
Okay. So let me play devil's advocate here for a second. Are these nominees worthy of the nomination, or is it because they're trying to be diverse? It's a fair question. Well, I'm just trying to throw it out there just for, I don't want to do any speculation, but just curious to see what, like you said, we'll know more next year as movies go on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you wonder about that, certainly. I mean, when I see Borat is up for nominations and for Golden Globes and things, I'm like, that movie was okay, but certainly if you have normal volume of content out there, it's probably not the best. So that's just
he's going to be left off.
That's one small indication, I guess, but we'll see. But at least you start somewhere a little bit here. Let's see. I won't really go into a lot of this, but 1 year ago, recently, was the anniversary of the Tiger King documentary on Netflix, which was one of the craziest things I ever saw. That was right at when the lockdown started to occur. That thing came out. It was crazy, nuts. So they talked about some of so the Tiger King's actually, he's in jail. He's still in jail. He's not getting out anytime soon. Some of the characters are still doing their thing a little bit, and they are still planning other spin-offs of people playing. I heard Nicolas Cage is going to play the Tiger King in some type of mini series or something like that. Crazy stuff. So that was definitely a cultural phenomenon when it came out last year. I know you guys didn't see it, so I won't even go into details there, but I thought it was crazy nuts. And then over the weekend, interesting documentary on the demise of the Blockbuster video store franchise. It's airing on Netflix, which some people found ironic because some people just automatically assumed that Netflix put Blockbuster out of business, which is actually not true. So Blockbuster, went pretty much out of business for a lot of its own decisions. As a matter of fact, they had the opportunity to buy Netflix. Netflix presented themselves to them to sell the company for like $50 million. Blockbuster basically said, take a hike. And now you see where both companies went. Blockbuster is worth like, several $100 billion.
Yes.
And Netflix, it kind of zeroed in on, there's one official Blockbuster store left in Oregon. And they talked a lot to the manager. It's like a local town. It's everything that you imagine the video store still is. That's what this is. People travel from literally around the country and some around the world just to see the last Blockbuster. Some grew up working at Blockbusters and they want to go out and experience that again and stuff like that. So it's still hanging on in this little town. There you have it. But so first of all, if you get a chance, check out the documentary.
Right, definitely want to see
Not the greatest one you're ever going to see, but it's on Netflix and it's a recent
just
thing.
Just nostalgia's sake, period. It would be good to watch.
That's right. So it made me reflect. Okay. Now for years and years and years, I refused to succumb to streaming. I prefer when my daughter Peyton grew up, I prefer to do the old-fashioned, go down to a local video time here in Southwest Akron, Kenmore area.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah,
right.
I liked the traditional. Get a pizza. We go walk in. We get the selection of movies. And you can read the movies and read the descriptions and all that stuff. I liked all that stuff. Now, is that something that now I also like streaming? I like to be able to sit in my home and just pull it up and watch it and not have to return anything and all that stuff. So obviously in our generation, that was very, very big for us to go rent a video, rent a movie, something that we all did for many, many years. Is that something you miss or no, it's too convenient? What are your thoughts on just the general miss and demise of the video stores in general?
Well, one of the things I want to be fair and say this: it is very easy to say now how much we miss that because it's gone. Also, in the pandemic age right now, we feel nostalgic for a lot of things like that. So I just want to be fair and put that out there. It just blows my mind that we have a generation growing up that will never know about that experience. And it had its negative effect just going. And, of course, always returning the movie, getting fined for not having it rewound, having to wait forever to rewind it, to take all that good stuff. But overall, going to the video store, especially the big movie, get there before it's already all gone and that whole 9 yards. It was a good experience for the most part, but it had its bad parts too. I enjoy streaming. Anytime I want to watch something, I can pull it up. Boom, boom, boom. I got the Disney Plus, the HBO Max. I got the free one on my phone. I can watch whatever I want at no cost. I enjoy the convenience of that, and that's great. I miss anything that calls social interaction because I think that's the problem we're having today. Too much technology is causing less social interaction. Talking to people at the video store. Have you seen it yet? Oh man, it was great. Just that whole thing. I miss all that stuff. So, it's very interesting. Blockbuster, you see it in, I think the last movie I saw was Captain Marvel. And it was a kind of a throwback homage in that movie.
Sure.
And I think it's kind of an old joke, but I do miss it. I think just the social interaction and getting the whole pizza, like you said, the whole preparing for a good night. I miss that part of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Skinner, what do you think?
It's funny you talk about this subject. Is I just got done watching a program on Amazon, an Amazon original called Red Oaks. It takes place back in 1984. I think 85 to 87 is what the 3 seasons are. And the term "be kind, rewind" was brought out right very early on.
Yes.
Sure.
And they were at a video store, and the guy opens up the video, and he's put it in that video rewind tape
Hey,
machine.
Skinner, you were hot stuff if you had a rewinder.
A video rewinder, exactly right.
Yeah.
But
Like
you
the one
guys
in the
have-
VCR wasn't good enough, right? You had to buy a separate rewinder. That's funny.
The
Go
whole
ahead.
selling point was it took wear and tear off your VCR.
That's another show I recommend. It's called Red Oaks. 3 seasons. They were supposed to do a 4th. I don't know what happened, but Paul Reiser's in it from I forget what that show was with Helen Hunt. Mad About You. Yeah. He's one of the big ones in there, but it's a good show. Anyway, I used to love going to the video stores because I used to take the kids. My children, my older children, they probably don't remember it anymore. Mike, Chelsea, and Bean, they listen to the show. You have to tell me if you guys remember me taking you to the store. First thing we did is go to that kids section, and they got to pick out their movie, and then we went to the adult section and picked out not the rated X room, not the rated X room, but the
Dad's got to go behind the beads here for a second.
Yeah, right.
No, I talk to the manager behind the curtain.
I didn't open a curtain and say, "Hey, don't move." No, it wasn't that. Let's talk about the older kid movies.
Okay.
And then I'd take them to the candy aisle, and they got to pick out their candy. And if we wanted the specialty popcorn, they had that. So I missed that interaction as well. But you guys know I cut the cable 7-8 years ago, so I stream everything from television shows to I have the antenna on the roof that I can watch the local channels. But I do miss the interaction.
Yeah.
Like Keith says, today's kids don't know what it's like to sit in front of somebody and have a conversation.
Nope.
If you put them in the same room and put a phone in their hands, they'll talk all day. But you take the phones away from them or the computers away from them and tell them you need to talk, they're going to sit there and be totally dumbfounded and not know how to handle themselves. And that's where the problems are, some of the problems that we have today with communication. I know I took this beyond a little bit, and I apologize, but that social interaction with the movies, going to the music stores that we talked about with Coconuts in the previous episode, all that needs to come back in some form to get these kids back to interacting with each other.
All right.
Yeah, the one thing that just to finish the thought here, that the one thing that on the documentary, it's a guy. If they zero in on him a little bit too, and he's a local guy. The video store is within walking distance of his house. He's probably around our age, right? He could do all the streaming and stuff there too, but he likes it's a excuse for him. It's his routine to leave his house, go down the street, see people, talk, get recommendations, check out the staff picks, all that stuff. It's good for him to get out, and I don't know that he gets out. Who knows? But it's definitely for him. It's an opportunity to go out and socialize with other people, just to go to the local video store. He purposely, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so you're right. It is something missing in that respect. So anyway, that's what I got this week in pop culture. Keith, what do you got in the world of sports?
Okay. Well,